Hello, everybody. Coming at you live for an impromptu Friday stream. I have not announced this, so I don't necessarily expect a lot of viewers to be in here. I never expect a lot of viewers to be in here because I've never had a stream in which a lot of viewers were in here. But I especially don't expect there to be many viewers today because I haven't announced this stream. I just happened to get off work a little bit earlier than I thought, and also, my daughter's going to be born very soon, and I'm not exactly sure when my next opportunity will be to be able to put on a stream. So I figured I'd just kind of sneak one in right now, have a conversation with you guys. I would really enjoy that. I can see somebody has already hopped in. Hello to you. I hope you're doing very well. Love to see who it is. So if you want to type in the chat, you are more than welcome to do so. Got a second viewer in here. Hello now to both of you. Thank you so much for joining the stream. I really appreciate it. But yeah, so got a new update as to the timetable for the birth of my second daughter. Got that update yesterday. My wife went into the doctor. They checked her out, and now we actually have an appointment for induction. So for those of you who don't know what induction is, it's basically when your baby's just not coming out. So what they do is they inject a substance into the woman's bloodstream called Pitocin, and that triggers labor. So Offspring says, hello, last one, huh? Yeah, probably. I might be able to squeeze one in next week, but I don't think that's very likely. And it's not the last one ever. It's just the last one, for the foreseeable sort of future within maybe the next couple of months or something. I don't know. I might be able to still make time to do one occasionally, but, having a newborn, it's just really unpredictable. And it's kind of like an all hands on deck situation where you kind of have to be at that baby's beck and call pretty much 24/7. So it's hard to really devote a long chunk of time to do a live stream, because like if I started a live stream, it could be like, hey, the baby needs you for this, and then sorry guys, got to go deal with this. I got to stop the stream, or at least get up and deal with it and come back. So yeah, last one for a fairly long period of time probably, but I don't know. I'll see what I can do. I'll play it by ear. The other thing too is that all babies are different. Some babies are like needier than others. Some babies have colic. Thankfully my first daughter didn't have colic, and I sincerely really hope that my my daughter who's going to be born soon, I hope she doesn't have colic either. That would be awesome. All things considered, my first daughter was actually a pretty easy baby, relatively speaking, because I've heard some horror stories from people about infants and how difficult it was to raise them and this and that, but all things considered, our first daughter was pretty easy in her infancy. So Offspring Freak, welcome back, by the way, Offspring Freak. Hope you're doing really well. Asks, how's my wife doing? She's doing well. A little ambivalent, because on one hand, she's kind of sick of being pregnant, but on the other, it's like we still have a lot of things to get done before before our daughter's born. So, sort of mixed emotions going on there. But in terms of her, overall, energy, outlook, demeanor, she's doing well. She's doing positive, and, we have an appointment on the books. Maybe I'll wait for a few people to come in here before I sort of announce on the date that we expect our daughter to be born. We have a tentative birthday, which is exciting. But yeah, so that's basically what's going on. Just had a long week at work. Things have been really busy. Got a lot on my plate at work, and I'm learning some new techniques, which is really exciting. I'm learning to work with some equipment that I've never worked with before at my job, which is really cool. Always excited to take on new things and learn some new skills. So that's one of the things that I talked about in my last stream, was that, someone was basically saying that, getting a master's or a PhD would sort of satisfy the craving for novelty, for something new. But, I get plenty of that in my job, and even a lot more of it at home too. But I don't want to dredge that whole conversation back up again. Mio Drag Jr. says my internet is not having it, so I might not be able to watch the stream. Okay. I'm sorry to hear about your internet. Hopefully it'll either solve itself or, it can get fixed somehow. But I do appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support. Even just typing that chat message means the world to me in ways that you can't imagine. So yeah, thanks for jumping in. And of course, everybody who's in here, according to my screen, there's only 2, but there might be more. I don't know how well my screen is sort of up to date on the concurrent viewer count. But anybody who is in here, you're welcome to bring up a topic if you like. And if you're feeling really crazy, you can attach your message to a super chat, because as I announced in my previous stream, I have recently enabled super chats. So this is the second stream of which super chats are enabled on my channel. So if you are feeling kind, charitable, and you would like to send me a super chat, you'd be more than welcome to do that. That'd be great. Thanks. To all who are considering sending a super chat, thank you so much. Okay, so here's a topic. Main Waring says, Ben, there are many people worried about the current vaccine contents, rumors of fetal cells and RNA. Can you shed some light on what's going on, especially what to expect with a COVID vaccine? Good question. You're not going to like my answer, though. Unfortunately, I don't know. I have not been keeping up. I'm really honestly just reluctant to look up anything COVID related, because a lot of it out there is just bullshit, so it's just hard. Like, I just don't believe anything that I see in the mainstream media anymore. And not being a virologist myself, not being, an immunologist or, someone who studies vaccines or anything like that, I just can't really comment knowledgeably on that. I think that whoever develops the vaccine, I don't know who exactly is involved. Like I said, I haven't really been keeping up on this. I have so much going on in my personal life right now. It's really hard to keep up on what's going on, like, in the world. But if you think about it, just from a direct sort of market economics point of view, right? Whoever's producing the vaccine, they have a really big skin in the game, right? They've invested a lot of money. Maybe they've gotten some grants or something. I don't know how how all of it, works in terms of like how they get their funding to produce the vaccine, but they've got a big skin in the game, right? They've got a lot of money on the line. They've got their goodwill on the line. And for those of you who don't know, when it comes to companies and corporations and things like that, there's a term or a property called goodwill, which is the positive view that others have toward your company. So like a lot of companies will do like these charitable campaigns, not necessarily because they want to be charitable in kind, but because they know that by doing these charitable campaigns, it'll increase the goodwill of their company. It'll actually benefit them from an economic point of view. So like a lot of these things like NBA Cares, where you see like these NBA players, planting flowers with little children who are sick or whatever. It's like, are they really trying to be kind, or are they, chances are, I don't think they are. I think they just want to beef up the goodwill of their company, which helps them economically. So even if it's just a completely amoral economic calculation, the producers of the vaccine have a huge incentive to do it right, to make something that is safe and that is effective. That's what's going to help them the most. Are there accidental screw ups? Of course there are, and there always have been. Even 80 years after the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, for those of you who don't live in the USA, 80 years after the Food and Drug Administration was established, there was a batch of Tylenol that was produced, and somehow potassium cyanide made its way into the Tylenol. It was sold at one Walgreens store, and everybody who bought this prescription Tylenol from this Walgreens store just died. So 80 years, right, of this company that's like the last bastion, the sort of checks and balances that, really keeps all these pharmaceutical companies in check. And that's how we justify, spending all this tax money and increasing people's taxes and all that shit. 80 years of this government agency called the FDA. And that potassium cyanide Tylenol thing still slipped through. So yeah, shit does happen. But the companies that are producing the vaccine, they want They want it to work well, and they want it to be safe. Otherwise, they know it's going to be bad news for them economically. But as far as like the actual science of what's going on, you know, like RNA and this and that and fetal, I just don't know. I haven't been keeping up. So I apologize for my ignorance on this topic. If anybody in the chat wants to shed some light on this, you're more than welcome to do so. Or if you want to talk about something else, that's cool too. I'm sorry I couldn't be more informative about that. But anyway, Mainwarings follows up on that statement, saying that it's a niche subject. I'm finding mostly scary information that doesn't make a lot of sense to me, and there was not being shouted out by a lot being shouted out about hydrochloroquine. Any thoughts? I think you mean hydroxychloroquine, right? Is that right? Well, I don't mean to be like splitting hairs here. I think I know what you mean, but yeah, I don't know much about it. The biggest thing that I heard of with the hydroxychloroquine was that there were a bunch of news organizations. I think CBS was like the biggest one. They published an article essentially implying that, you know, President Trump has blood on his hands because he was suggesting that hydroxychloroquine could be a viable COVID-19 treatment. And these two people in Arizona ingested hydroxychloroquine, and one of them died and the other was critically injured. What they didn't tell you was that these two amazing, wonderful, intelligent people, air quotes, in Arizona, ingested fish tank cleaner, which had several ingredients of it, several ingredients in it, many of which are way more harmful, and only one of which was the hydroxychloroquine. So it was like a completely just dishonest, disingenuous article, just a hit piece designed to smear the president. And those things, they don't actually hurt the cause for dislike of the president, right? Because there are people who have genuine dislikes, genuine merited criticism of the president, right? But when this shit is published, when this absolutely nonsense, false, manipulative, misleading, deceptive bullshit is published, it ruins the credibility of anybody who has an honest, real, genuine criticism. So I know I'm kind of moving the goalpost or going off on a tangent here, but that's really the biggest thing that I heard about hydroxychloroquine was this, you know, the mainstream media took it as an opportunity to smear President Trump, like they do with fucking everything. And again, like, you know, of course, you know, like, the guy's not perfect. I mean, you know, no president is, but, you know, I just think that when you run these deceptive smear campaigns that don't have any basis in logic or reason or facts, you're actually discrediting those who actually do have the honest, you know, genuine criticisms. And I think that overall does a disservice to everybody. So anyway, wow, got 9 concurrent viewers in here. So to all 9 of you, thank you so much for being in here. As I said previously, not trying to harp on it too much, but in the last stream, I finally enabled super chats. I've done several streams without even really knowing what super chats are. So I looked it up and, oh yeah, there's this thing called super chats. So if anybody is interested in sending me one, basically, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who do, I'm sorry for saying it over and over again, but for those of you who don't know, it's basically just a chat message that you send along with a monetary donation. And that chat message is pinned in a nice, beautiful color that appears in a duration that's proportional to the amount donated. So that's how it works. So anybody who wants to send one, it would be greatly appreciated. To all who are considering, thank you. All right, moving on. So what else do you guys want to talk about? We've talked about vaccines. I don't know much about it. We've talked about hydroxychloroquine. I don't know much about it. You know, I really like getting questions from things that I do know a lot about. But of course, you guys don't know my whole story, so I wouldn't expect you guys to know what I know about and what I don't know about. But yeah, I mean, in general, you know, things like current events and stuff like that, I got so much stuff going on in my personal life. I just don't follow it very closely. I mean, you know, maybe some of like the big headlines and things I read, but like, you know, just I don't know. Very rarely do I actually like read an article from start to finish. It's very, very rare for me to read a news article. from start to finish. And also, you know, I don't watch like the news on TV. You know, I don't even have like cable or any kind of like, you know, YouTube TV or Hulu Live or anything like that. All that I have on my TV, it's a Roku TV is what I have. All that I have are Netflix and Prime. That's it. And, you know, I got YouTube too, so I can watch YouTube on my TV, but I have Netflix and I have Prime. And the only reason I have Prime is because, you know, I have Amazon Prime for getting like 2-day delivery on packages and shit. I don't really, you know, I didn't really get Prime for the video streaming service, but hey, if I got it, I might as well watch it, right? Kind of sucks because they used to have like Entourage on there. They used to have like all of the Entourage episodes on there, so I kind of like got into that show for a little while. But now they don't really have it on there anymore. That's kind of my biggest criticism with the Prime TV or, you know, whatever Prime Video is that, you know, when you click on a movie, you know, you don't know whether or not it's going to be like free to stream. You know, when I click on a movie that I like, oh, I really want to watch this, I click on it and it's like, oh, you can watch it if you start your free trial for Stars or whatever. And it's like, man, you know, I don't want to sign up for a 7-day free trial of Stars because I know exactly what's going to happen, and so do they. What's going to happen is I'm going to throw down my credit card number, and then 7 days from now, I will forget to cancel it, and then I'll get charged for a month of service that I don't even want. That's how they get you. So I don't want to have to deal with all that. The other thing that I have it, but I haven't installed it yet, is an antenna. Back when I lived in Florida, I lived in Orlando, Florida for about 10 years. And the antenna reception was really, really good. Like I could pick up, you know, all the big networks like NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox. So I could watch like Jeopardy every night during the week. My wife and I would watch Jeopardy every night. I could pick up like if I wanted to watch, you know, NFL on CBS, I could watch that. I could watch like Sunday Night Football on NBC. Super Bowl, of course, is on NBC, so like I could watch all that stuff like for free, just pick it up through my antenna. But I hadn't hooked up my antenna since I've lived up here in South Carolina, so maybe, I don't know, maybe one of these days I'll hook up my antenna to see how well the reception works out here. I've asked a couple of coworkers how well it works, but they said it's pretty good, so I'm gonna give it a shot. Okay, so Ragav, I'm not gonna attempt. I'll just call you Ragav M. Sorry for not attempting to pronounce your last name, but it says randomly open YouTube. Saw you streaming live. Just wanted to say thanks for making my high school chemistry fun. Not to brag, I got 91 out of 100 on my finals. Dude, no, brag it up, man. You freaking deserve to brag, man. This is your time to shine. Let everybody in the chat and everybody who watches this stream in the future know you whooped your chemistry class's ass. That's awesome. Seriously. Be super bashful about that. That's something to be proud of, man. I'm proud of you. Good job. And I appreciate you saying thanks. I really do. Comments like that just warm my heart right up. You know what else warms my heart right up? Are super chats. I'm gonna like piss everybody in the stream off before this thing's over. So if anybody wants to send a super chat, you're more than welcome to do that. All right, that's the last thing I'm gonna say about it for now. Al Low says, hey, with a little smiley face emoji. Hello, Al Low. Is that supposed to be like aloe, like aloe vera, like the green stuff that comes from the aloe plant that you put on your skin when you have a bad sunburn? Is that the joke? Is that what your name is kind of supposed to be? I think it's a cool name, man. I like aloe plants. I think they have a cool look to them. You know, like they have like this, you know, the prickly, almost cactus-like leaves to them. And it's like really rare for them to grow a flower, but they only grow like one like tall little flower at a time. I think that's pretty cool. I like aloe plants. And the other thing I like about aloe plants is that you don't have to water them hardly ever. When I was in Florida, I had an aloe plant. I never watered it. It just took in the amount of water that it needed from the Florida climate. It was nice and humid and wet, and that's all the water that the aloe plant needed, and it grew like a friggin' weed, man. That was man, I've just been talking for like a whole minute about aloe plants. Let's move on to a different subject. Raghup said thanks. Yeah, you're very welcome. Alex Terribletti. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Alex, should I identify you? Should I identify you to everybody else in this stream? Wow, it is amazing to have you in here. Hello, how are you? How are you? Yeah, let me know in the chat whether or not I can sort of disclose my history with you in the stream, because we had some very good times. Very good times. Good times. Thanks for your support, though. I really appreciate it, and I really hope you're doing well. And while you're in here, I might as well start talking about the important stuff. So yesterday, my wife went to see the doctor. They checked her out, and they found out that my wife is, or at least was yesterday, 2 centimeters dilated already. So the dilation and effacement process has begun. So now we have an induction appointment scheduled for Thursday, October 1st. That's literally in 6 days. So that, in all likelihood, will be my daughter's birthday. So I'm super excited, and I don't know, maybe I'll upload like a little video of the newborn. Okay, Alex says sure. Okay, so for those of you who are also in the chat, Alex Taraboletti, are you still living in Ohio? I think you're still living in Ohio. I know you were in Ohio for quite some time, but Alex and I studied chemistry at the University of Central Florida. We were both chemistry majors, so early on, your classes, like your general chem and your organic, have like hundreds of students in them. So you don't really have much of an opportunity. You don't really get to know anybody super well unless you really try to. But, as you sort of progress to the upper levels, like the class size gets smaller and smaller, especially for chemistry majors, because it's such a small department. I can't remember how many students we had in there, but it was a small department. So you see a lot of familiar faces, when you start taking classes like, advanced organic or physical chemistry, or, all of the advanced labs like inorganic and PChem 2 and all that kind of shit. So Alex and I, we saw each other a lot. Alex, when I was there, was the president of the UCF chapter of the American Chemical Society Club. She ran that club along with the other officers like a well-oiled machine. And because of them, I had the opportunity to go out with them to San Diego for I think it was the 2012 spring national meeting in San Diego, I want to say, spring 2012 American Chemical Society national meeting in San Diego. Yeah, a lot of good times, a lot of study groups and things like that. I'm actually going to order me a Coke real quick. To be continued. And the other thing about Alex, I'll say this, I'll try to keep it in a low voice so the drive-through person doesn't think that I'm talking to her right now. The other thing about Alex that I thought was amazing was she actually flew out all the way from Ohio to Florida to attend my wedding. I mean, that is absolutely amazing. Like, to have friendship like that, I have no words for it. It's freaking awesome. So hopefully, I don't know, maybe one of these days we'll get to hang out again. South Carolina is a lot closer to, well, not much closer, but it is closer to Ohio than Florida, so maybe we can hang out one of these days. Maybe I just need to get the hell out of the house for a couple of days, just drive up to you. Help! I'm in a house surrounded by girls.
Okay.
Oh, you're in DC now. That's even closer. And you're a chem professor. Awesome, man. Where's the time gone? Man, I apologize for not keeping in touch. That's my bad. I definitely need to do better about keeping in touch. Not just with Alex, but with all my old classmates. You guys are awesome. I think it's my turn to order. Hang on. I don't know what's going on. It's taking forever to address me on the speaker box. I know this doesn't make for great content. Thank you to all 9 of you who are still in here. I don't know what to do. Man Wearing says, got to shoot off. Good luck with the birth. I'll try to explain alchemy next time. Turn your coal into gold, LOL. All right, man. All right, keep it real, man. Take it easy. Thanks for coming. Thanks for joining me in the stream. Appreciate it. Man, it's funny, Alex, because like there are so many like questions I want to ask about what's going on, you know, and how things are going and this and that. But hit me up on Discord or something. We can, you know, we do a video call or something. I'd love to do that. Hi, may I please order just a large Coke and that's it?
Won't send that the first one out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, place my order. Thank you guys for staying with me. So, you know, Alex, I think maybe you should start your own YouTube channel and I'll plug the hell out of it. We can do some collaboration. Yeah, we will chat soon. I definitely send my students to your channel. Oh, thanks so much. I'll pay for my Coke real quick. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Here you go. Thank you. All right. Just paid for my Coke. There's only one car in front of me. And then I'm gonna have my delicious McDonald's Coke. And then I'm gonna head home where my to-do list is forever. So that's cool though. Yeah, cause like there's so many questions I want to ask. Alex, I don't know if you're still in the stream, but like I mean definitely we'll talk in private, but like I want to know like what you're doing for your research and like, you know, are you teaching like general chemistry, organic, biochem, analytical, you know, what are you teaching? Like I just definitely need to catch up. Definitely need to catch up. That'd be sweet. Looks like the viewer count is dropping. I can't say that I blame him because just a dude sitting in a drive-thru waiting on a Coke. Yeah, I get it. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Ba-ba-ba. Got it. Coca-Cola for the road. To make this left turn onto this road here in which there's a lot of traffic. So it's like I have to just sit here and just wait for that perfect moment to throw my car out in front of everything and just hope that I have enough space to cross the road before I get tagged by another car. Sometimes you have to wait for a while on this road. Every single time I contemplate, you know, turning right and, you know, making a U-turn or something like that, but I never actually go through with it though. I always just wait for my left turn. What do you guys think I should do? Do you guys think I should wait for the left turn or should I take a right and do a U-turn somewhere? Yeah, this could be a while. I'm gonna enjoy my Coke. Ah. Offspring Freak says, I enjoy your life, even with the Coke buying, LOL. Thanks for inviting us. Cool, man. Cool. I personally don't think it's that interesting, but I'm glad you do, man. Very cool. Right on. Right now, I'm just trying to it's like I can't turn left to save my life here. I feel like Zoolander. Anybody ever watched that movie before, Zoolander? It's hilarious, by the way, if you haven't seen that movie, I definitely recommend finding it and watching it because it's hilarious. All right, I successfully made the left turn. But yeah, the main character, he's like this this male model. His name's Derek Zoolander, and one of his problems that he had was that he couldn't turn left. So like, if he wanted to turn left, he'd have to like turn right like 3 times, like turn right all the way around at like a 270-degree angle to make a left turn. Hilarious. I know it sounds stupid, but like if you watch it, it's funny. I promise. Hey, greeting. I'll go ahead and spell the name, or try to pronounce the name. Vincenta. Oh man, Mikuluentai. I'll just call you Vincenta. Hey, Vincenta. She says, or he says, I don't know what gender you are, but sorry. One day I will read this freaking message. Sorry, I'm driving, so I have to multitask. It says, hey, greetings from Lithuania. I've discovered your. Sorry. It's hard to read when I got cars in front of me. I probably shouldn't be doing this, but screw it. I've discovered your channel when I was a first-year chemistry student, and you've helped me a lot. Thanks. I'm doing a master's in biochemistry. Awesome. Good for you. I'm really glad that I could be of some help. I really, really appreciate your kind words. Thank you. Thanks for popping in here and dropping that suggestion or that message. Thank you. I hope things in Lithuania are going well. I don't know much about Lithuania other than it's south of Latvia, which is south of Estonia. That's about all I know. I don't really know much about Eastern Europe. But at least I know that, which is more than I could say for a lot of Americans, let me tell you. I bet you talk to a lot of people like, hey, you know where Lithuania is? Isn't that somewhere in the Middle East? But at least I actually listened when in my geography class when I was in middle school. So thanks again for dropping in here. And master's in biochem, that's very impressive. I personally didn't really like biochemistry very much. I don't know why I didn't like it. It just didn't really click with me. I don't know. Why does anybody like what they like? Why does anybody dislike what they dislike? I don't know. But for some reason, I never quite clicked with biochemistry. But I definitely appreciate those who do it, because it's because of biochemists that we have a lot of amazing sort of technology and inventions. Raghav says, any good Netflix suggestions? Yeah, I mean, it's a little old now, but I think Breaking Bad's still on Netflix. Breaking Bad, in my opinion, greatest TV show of all time, for obvious reasons. As a chemistry nerd, kind of have to go with Breaking Bad. It's awesome. Even if you're not a chemistry nerd, Breaking Bad's still a freaking awesome show. If you're talking about recent things on Netflix, you know, one of my viewers in my last stream, I'm blanking on his name right now, but he suggested to watch this sort of Netflix documentary called The Social Dilemma, which is about, you know, all these like sort of tech companies and how they, you know, what they do with your data and how they market it and how they basically sell your data to advertisers, and just all of the, you know, sort of psychological techniques that they use on people to sort of keep them, you know, to keep their attention, to keep them sort of coming back to the casino, so to speak. And I thought that was really fascinating. Unfortunately, I fell asleep in the middle of it, not because it was like super boring, but because I was just freaking exhausted. But that, yeah, I remember being interested watching it. But unfortunately, like, I was just so tired, I couldn't. Maybe I'll watch it from the beginning to end over the weekend or something. But yeah, Social Dilemma, very, very interesting, sort of eye-opening documentary about you know, tech companies and social media and this and that. I would suggest that. Other than that, you know, I haven't really been watching a lot of Netflix, really. Haven't really been watching a lot of Netflix. Dominic Garita says hello. Hello, Dominic. Nice to see you. I believe it was you who left a comment on my previous stream. Thank you for your comment, and thanks for popping into the stream. I wholeheartedly appreciate your attendance here with us. Thank you. Raghav says, absolutely, Breaking Bad all the way. By the way, if you love Breaking Bad, you'll love Better Call Saul. Give it a shot. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know all about Better Call Saul, man. I've watched it. It's great. Yeah, I mean, I love Better Call Saul, especially, like, I like when it sort of follows Mike around, Mike Ehrmantraut. You know, I love that character, Mike Ehrmantraut. He's just such a badass character, and I love how, like, you know, making these like homemade sort of gadgets and things, and like you're trying to figure out like, okay, what's he gonna do with that thing, and then he does it. Wow, like I never would have guessed that, but it's like so brilliant. It's like, where do they come up with this stuff? I mean, yeah, I totally agree with you. Better Call Saul is a great show. I was honestly like, okay, a Breaking Bad spinoff, like how good could this be, really? But it's good. It's excellent. Better Call Saul is excellent. I highly recommend it to anybody who wants to watch a good show. Some other message in the chat. Oh, Jer's back in here. What's up, Jer? Jer says, my friend told me to mix fluorine with hydrogen. Should I do it? Really? That's probably a joke, I imagine, because fluorine is pretty nasty stuff. It's, you know, it's a gas at room temperature. So if you order fluorine from a chemical supplier, it will come in the form of a cylinder of gas. And it's a very, very, very harmful gas. Like toxic, like corrosive, and it's just awful, awful gas. Hydrogen is also pretty dangerous. It's explosive, it's highly flammable. But it's not as bad as fluorine in terms of like, you know, how poisonous it is, how bad it is for your health. Really, like the biggest danger to hydrogen, the biggest danger associated with hydrogen is its like flammability and explosiveness. It's funny you mentioned hydrogen, because today at my job, for the first time, I got the opportunity to use some equipment that I've never used before. I've gotten the opportunity to perform a hydrogenation reaction, which is pretty cool. You know, if you have some sort of double bond, some sort of saturation, maybe it's a carbon-carbon double bond, or maybe it's a carbonyl group, a carbon-oxygen double bond, or, you know, triple bond or something like that, or even like a carbon-carbon triple bond, or a carbon. I think what I'm doing it is for a carbon-nitrogen triple bond. I'm trying to reduce a carbon-nitrogen triple bond and, you know, basically perform hydrogenation to turn it into, you know, a carbon-nitrogen single bond. And in order to perform that reaction, the reaction has to be performed in the presence of a palladium catalyst at very, very high pressures and or temperature, although apparently it's common to keep the pressures relatively mild, or keep the temperatures relatively mild, but to increase the pressure. So we have these, like, you know, really rugged steel reactors that, you know, have like thick steel walls, and, you know, you close it up really tight and everything, and they have pressure gauges coming out of them, and you can introduce hydrogen into that system at pressures of like 50 psi or 100 psi, pressures that would cause a glass flask to completely explode. But because it's like a steel reactor, it doesn't explode. It can handle the pressure. And so it was interesting. It was interesting working with this equipment that I've never worked with before for the hydrogenation reaction. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I think it was cool. I'm sure a lot of people think it's lame, but I think it was cool. But Jur says, how much pressure in kPa? Oh, good question. I can't remember the conversion from. It's funny because I have videos on this topic. I have a video called Pressure and Pressure Units, but unfortunately, I'm blanking on the conversion you know, how to convert 100, PSI to, or what the conversion is from PSI to kilopascals. I want to say it's like 101.3 PSI or in 1 kilopascal or 1 pascal. I honestly can't remember. I'm sorry. But luckily, Google has made it really easy to, you can ask Google to perform these conversions for you. So like oftentimes I'll tell my phone, like I'll just put the little Google thing on there and I'll press the little microphone and it'll go boop, and I'll be like, convert 100 PSI to kilopascals, and it'll do the conversion for me. So I don't have to think as much about it. I can sort of devote my brain power toward other things, which is nice. Raghav says, read anything else new about the California fires? I have cousins there who had to move because of suffocation. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. I'm sorry to hear that. No, I haven't heard anything new about it other than it's just devastating. Drew says, sorry, I'm from Canada. We use the metric system. Yeah. I don't know why we use PSI so much up here, or down here in the USA for gas pressures, but we do. A lot of our gauges are calibrated in PSI, and I'm not really used to like dealing with things at like high pressures. Like I've done a lot of stuff under vacuum, like so. A common unit for vacuum pressures is the millibar. So like can I get all the way down to 2 millibars? Can I get down to 1 millibar? That's kind of like when you're trying to keep something under vacuum to get the solvent off or whatever. That's probably the unit of pressure that I've sort of used more than anything else, millibars. But let's see. What else? Yeah. So all right. I think I'm going to end the stream here in a little bit. I can talk to you guys for maybe a couple more minutes, but as I said repeatedly in the past, in the last stream and this one, anybody who wants to send a super chat, you are more than welcome to do that. I would certainly appreciate it if you're feeling generous. Let's see. Jur says, what's your job if you don't mind telling? No, I don't mind. I don't want to identify the company that I work for, but I do research and development on active pharmaceutical ingredients. So what does that mean? Well, I mean, practically speaking, it's a lot of like organic lab techniques, like round bottom sort of reactions with magnetic stirring, overhead stirring, a lot of chromatography, a lot of, using rotary evaporators, things like that, distillations, as I said just now, occasionally like a hydrogenation. We do a lot of HPLC and things like that. Jur says, by the way, congrats on the baby. Thank you very much. Looks like Austin Zhang just chimed in. Congrats. Thank you for the congratulations. Looks like Thursday, October 1st, going to be the birthday, so super exciting. Raghav says, anyway, I guess it's time for me to sleep. All the best with your child's birth. May God bless you and your family. P.S. Looking forward to the next live stream. Thank you, man. Thank you. So until next time, yeah, thanks again. I really, really appreciate your guys' support. Even though I haven't gotten any super chats, it's all good. It's all good. It's really not, my chat doesn't move so fast, at least yet. Probably never will. I don't ever expect to have a stream with like, thousands of viewers where the chat's just flying around. Those are the kind of streams in which like super chats are really valuable, and they're not so valuable in this stream where there's only like one chat message every like 30 seconds or something. I can keep up with it pretty easily. So yeah, I think this is probably the last time in this stream that I'll that I'll solicit my audience for super chats, because it's just not that necessary. All right. So yeah, if you guys have anything else you want to talk about over the next couple of minutes or so, let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to end the stream. Got a lot of stuff to do over the weekend. Kind of sucks because I have to go back to work on Monday, and then my sort of bonding leave, you know, the 3 weeks. I actually get 3 weeks of paid leave when my daughter's born, which is nice. But that's actually going to start on Tuesday. I wasn't able to get it to start on Monday, so it's going to start on Tuesday. So I have to go in. Jura says, not going to lie, you should become a university professor because your videos are hella good at explaining stuff. Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, honestly, like, I would like to have I kind of sort of loosely have a vision to go beyond and have like more influence and more reach than a university professor would. That's kind of the goal, to be even more impactful, more influential, and have a more profound impact on the world than a university professor would. But I do appreciate the compliment, though. Thank you very much. Offspring Freak says, how does one even send a super chat? I've never heard of this before. You mentioned it today. It's kind of hard to explain it. If anybody wants to help out Offspring Freak for how to send a super chat, that I'd appreciate it. I think there's an option like in the little bar where you would type your chat message. There's like an icon or something that you can press, and that will sort of direct you to send a super chat if you wanted to. George Michael is back, says the GOAT is live. Man, you're just going to call me the GOAT every stream, huh? Thanks. Offspring Freak says, never mind, just figured it out how it works, of course, after I asked, shaking my head. Yeah, I do that kind of stuff all the time. Where I don't give myself enough time to figure something out. I ask a question, and then while I'm waiting for an answer, I figure it out. And then the person to whom I asked the question is like, well, why the frick did you ask me, you know? So but it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad you figured it out. Very cool. Yeah, I think YouTube makes it pretty intuitive. I think they've really tried to make it easy for folks to send super chats. And of course, you know, this is only my second stream having super chats enabled, so I'm pretty new to the whole thing. I don't even know if you can enable like some kind of like text on the screen or some kind of sound effect to come in, like, to, you know, like, I think the one that like the example of like Dr. Disrespect, he you know, every time someone donates to him, you just hear new donation, you know, and it's like this, you know, sort of iconic or characteristic sound that every time somebody donates, you hear that. I don't know how to set that up, but I think that'd be cool. Let's see. George Michael asked what I order at McDonald's. Just a large Coke, that's it. I just wanted something, you know, just a Coke. I really like Coca-Cola, so especially McDonald's Coke, it's delicious. But yeah, I didn't order any like burgers or fries or anything. I'm gonna be eating dinner with my family tonight, so I don't want to spoil my dinner. And I like to chew ice. But hopefully me chewing ice isn't so loud and unattractive to you guys that you just go away. Let's see. All right. Well, my wife just texted me. She says she's ready for me to come inside and help with the baby, or not the unborn one, but my toddler. You know what I mean. Apparently she's being a handful right now, but Neo Drag Jr. says I'm just gonna have Domino's thin crust pizza tonight. Cool, man. Right on. Good stuff. All right, so I have to go, guys. Thanks for tuning in. You know, I'll try to keep in touch as best as I can, try to pump out videos as best as I can. But yeah, next Thursday looks like that's going to be my daughter's birthday. Thank you very, very much. What's the difference between acid and a base again? Well, there's a couple of definitions of acid base. There's the Bronsted-Lowry definition, under which an acid is a proton donor and a base is a proton acceptor. There's the Lewis definition of acids and bases, where an acid is an electron pair acceptor and a base is an electron pair donor. And the Bronsted-Lowry, the Lewis, and there's one more, the Arrhenius definition of acid, in which An acid is something that increases the concentration of hydronium ions in a solution, and a base is something that increases the hydroxide ion concentration in a solution. And I know I'm going through this really fast, but unfortunately I've run out of time. But I have to get going. So thank you guys for all of your support. I really appreciate it. Even though I didn't get any super chats today, it's all good. I know you guys are good. Just for watching my content, I really appreciate it. So yeah, if you guys want to follow me on any of my other social media platforms, if you go to my YouTube channel page, youtube.com/benschemvideos, there's a banner at the top of that page. On the bottom right-hand corner of that banner, you'll see links to Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my Discord. If you're willing to join, it doesn't cost anything. You can just hop on in. There's a permanent invite link. So, all right. Looking forward to seeing you guys in the near future. Love you guys. Mwah. Goodbye.